The Mattamy Athletic Centre in downtown Toronto, where the Don Mills Flyers and the Toronto Junior Canadians are tied at 2 after the first. I'm your host, Val Wood, and I'm joined here again by panel analyst Dylan Baker. Dylan, obviously an action-packed first period. What are your thoughts?
That was a lot of offense, Joel. I think that's my main thought after that first period. 2-2 after 20 minutes, or after 15 minutes, I should say, excuse me. It lived up to the billing, right? We heard Mark and Adrian talk about it before the game. They were expecting a high-octane contest, and that's exactly what we saw in the first period. 2 goals within the first minute and 10 seconds. I mean, that was everything you could have hoped for in the first period of the OHL Cup final. Don Mills and the Toronto Junior Canadians certainly living up to the billing of this game.
We spoke about it. Last year's OHL Cup final only saw 1 goal in the entire game. We already have 4 in the first 15 minutes. Is there anyone out there that's really surprised you or come out hot as you were expecting?
You know what? I think that Don Mills has really come out hot as a team, and I really like the game that Lee has played so far. Up to this point, he's been all over it. Obviously, he scored that first goal for the Don Mills Flyers in the first period, and then was kind of buzzing around, and Mark and Adrian highlighted that. He was laying checks, he was physical, he was speeding around the ice all throughout the first period. I really liked the game that he's had so far.
Cameron Warren, leading the tournament in points, scored that tying goal at the end of the first period. What are your thoughts on his game?
Cameron Warren is a really highly skilled player, and that was on full display in the first period. A beautiful backhand goal to tie this one up, and I believe he's tied for the all-time tournament lead in scoring as well, so potentially something to watch for in the second period.
He is indeed, and also potential first overall pick in the upcoming OHL draft. With that being said, let's take a look at the action.
Yeah, busy first period, Joel, here. It got started right away. 44 seconds in, the Junior Canadians kind of set the tone. Roberts with a pass that was, or a shot that was turned away, and Jax Pereira got just enough of it to get it past La Gambina, but not to be outdone. The Flyers responded immediately. Bit of a miscommunication, and Lee was left wide open on the pass from Evan Nicholson there to bury it and respond for the Don Mills Flyers. A couple of chances there for Don Mills were followed up by a scramble off the draw, and Evan Nicholson using Chong as a screen in front of him to beat Ciccelli. There you see the goal from Cameron Warren. Beautiful backhander, able to outweight La Gambina. And we've seen the intensity kind of ratchet up in this game. A couple of chances on both sides. Nearly a miscommunication there between La Gambina and his defenders that led to a goal for the Junior Canadians. He was sharp all throughout that first period, as were the Junior Canadians defenders and Ciccelli in goal.
As you mentioned, La Gambina remains the only goaltender in this tournament with a perfect 4-0 record. I'm sure that they're going to come out in the second period looking to really build on their adrenaline and come out there again.
I'd love to see an early period goal just like we saw in the first period. I thought Toronto did a great job kind of establishing themselves in that first period. Obviously, the goal of the first minute will do